When I heard what happened, I knew it would hit you hard.
You know, right now, I could care less about business.
I mean, because of your brother. He was a lot older than Max's kids when he died, but all the same.
It resonates.
Yeah.
You're right. I do know something of what Max is going through.
I figured.
It feels like you've been skinned and salted.
Well, is it something that shouldn't happen to your worst enemy?
Is that Max?
Well, I don't hold many charitable feelings for him, but he doesn't deserve this. This is a real tragedy.
I didn't expect to hear that from you.
Because I don't have kids of my own, or because you think my feelings don't run that deep?
You're more human than most. You just don't like anyone to know it.
Is that so? You mean, beneath this fabulous exterior, I'm just a regular guy?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, most people in this town don't share your unique insight into my character. Renee, standing over there with her hands 6 inches from the phone, waiting to call downtown if I make a move she doesn't like.
You know, a lot of people seem to think that you're involved in this somehow, including Max.
So are you going to believe Max or me when I say that I'm not a child kidnapper?
I hope I never come face to face with one.
I guess I have my answer.
I guess you do.
Have you tried to defend me to your new partner?
Well, you know, he's not ready to hear anything right now. He's barely breathing. I mean, it's like a weight is on his soul, and there's something I can do, and it breaks my heart.
I'm an absolute wreck. But thank goodness we didn't have to fly commercial.
Well, as soon as we're airborne, I'll have Brandon, the steward, whip us up some tea. How's that?
Thank you. You've been absolutely wonderful to us. Hasn't he, Kelly? Because I feel so badly about having to take Melinda back to the clinic, but I didn't have any choice.
Obviously, she's in very good hands with Dr. Angel, though.
She's already made an improvement.
That's because she's getting her medication.
That's something else I feel guilty about.
Do you?
Yes, it may seem unreasonable, but Melinda was, after all, staying with me, and perhaps I should have been more vigilant.
But you said that she insisted on medicating herself.
But I shouldn't have trusted her. Do you know how hard it is to say something like that about your own sister?
I can imagine.
No, you can't.
Of course he can, Kelly. He's one of the most sensitive, perceptive men I've ever met. Of course, that would include Mel.
Well, I am sorry that things didn't work out the way you'd hoped. But that being said, Kelly was able to spend a few weeks with her mother, and that's something.
It isn't enough for Kelly, though. She blames me. That's fine. That's perfectly all right. Makes her feel better to make me the scapegoat, so be it. My shoulders are broad. However, I'm quite exhausted. I'm going to just take a mild sleeping pill. You look so sad and disappointed.
You can't imagine.
Miss Dunkley.
I'm perfectly fine. Just give me a moment.
Do you want to go back to the farmhouse? I mean, I'm sorry if this was too much for you.
I don't come here often. Sonia's not dead to me. When I want to be with her, I sit at the piano in the house. I imagine her beautiful hands filling the room with music. I can see her in her long, white concert gown, acknowledging the ovations of applause, her arms filled with roses. So lovely, so remarkably gifted. No, she's not here.
You were very proud of her, weren't you?
I wish you could have known her then.
That's why I'm here. Because I want to know and understand.
Would you like to see some of her scrapbooks?
Yes. Oh, yes, please.
Well, let's go back to the house.
You feel steadier now?
Oh, yes, quite.
Then let me ask a question. What were Dr. and Mrs. Kramer doing on that plane?
I thought I explained.
They left home when their youngest daughter was in the hospital, seriously injured? When Cassie's mother was emotionally distraught because of the riding accident that destroyed her sister's musical career?
Sonia was even more distraught. After all, she appreciated what Melinda had lost. Dr. Kramer hoped that a few days at the lake would help her recover. And the girls had me. I'd been their surrogate mother all along.
I see.
Can we return to the house?
Oh, of course. Miss Oltl, you mentioned that the day of the Kramer's funeral was the saddest day of your life except for one. What day was that?
The day I had to have Melinda committed to an institution. Now, please, can we go?
Grandfather, grandmother, I'm Cassie. I'm Dorian's daughter.
One
Concert debut with the Cleveland Symphony. Your grandfather fell in love with her then and there. She was only 16.
And by then, she was already an orphan.
She had me.
Yes, and her daughters had you after their parents were killed. You've been an essential part of this family, haven't you?
I've done my best. It hasn't always been enough.
And it must have been difficult for Sonia to give up a musical career to become a wife and mother.
Yes,
Was she jealous of Melinda's talent?
absolutely not. She was devastated by the accident that destroyed it.
No doubt Melinda was devastated as well.
Melinda was always rather fragile.
And then to lose her parents so soon afterwards?
Melinda went to pieces. She seemed to lose her identity. She retreated from the world. As executrix of the Kramer estate and the girl's legal guardian, I was the one who had to have her committed.
What a terrible responsibility.
Oh, I don't want you to get the impression that life here was one long tragedy. Oh, your mother and her sisters really had a wonderful childhood. This house was full of laughter and music. There were plenty of picnics and pets and games.
Melinda told us about this game that she played with my mother. They would act out fairy tales. My mother would chase Melinda, and Melinda would have to scream. And then when somebody would come running, Melinda had to pretend that she was really hurt, and then my mother would be punished. I know, it sounds awful, but...
Cassie, I assure you there was no such game.
So, they haven't recovered the ransom either?
I don't think Max gives a snap about the money. But losing his family has sucked all the life right out of him. He's just going through the motions.
Huh. If that's true, I hope you don't let yourself go under with it.
Right now, even Blue Jay doesn't seem so important compared to those two kids.
But Blue Jay is your kid in a way. And there are a lot of artists depending on you.
I know.
So, what do you plan to do?
I can't walk out on Max.
Okay, it's understood. But you can't walk out on Blue Jay either.
Are you here to tell me I made my bed, so lie in it?
Is there anything I can do to help?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't want to see you twisting in the wind, caught in the middle. Maybe there's some way we can work things out to everyone's benefit.
You're serious?
Very serious. You name the terms, I'll try to meet them. Maybe some kind of probationary partnership while you wait and see how things look with Holden and how things go with us. I mean, I know it's a hell of a time to make a major decision, so think about it. No pressure.
Hi. Hi. Here for lunch? Nope. Here for you.
Melinda said that she and my mother would play this game.
I'm afraid Dorian did torment Melinda mercilessly. It used to upset Sonia. And when she was upset, Dr. Creamer would become upset. He begged me to make the girls stop fighting.
Actual fighting?
Tooth and nail.
It's hard to believe.
Perhaps Melinda imagined the game to protect her memory of her beloved Dorian. Your mother has certainly spent her adult life being extraordinarily kind and supportive to her sisters and to me as well.
You never lost touch?
Briefly, when Dorian was in medical school and in a few years following.
So you never met my father, David Rinaldi?
No. But Dorian told me about him after the fact.
Did she ever tell you why he took me away from her when I was a baby?
How can there be any explanation for what is indefensible? It's a terrible thing. For her and for you, well.
I think that we've tired you.
Oh, when you're my age, you're always tired.
Well, okay then. Maybe it's, I think it's time for us to go.
Oh, but I've enjoyed your visit. I hope you understand your family history a little better now.
Well, it's a little overwhelming. It's gonna take me a little time to assimilate everything.
You're very like her.
My mother?
Your grandmother. Here. So you can remember her when she was young and beautiful, and her heart was filled with music.
Thank you.
You've been most helpful.
If you have any more questions, I hope you'll write to me. No, well, will you?
I will. I'm so glad that we met.
So am I.
Bye.
Bye. I think that this is a really well-rehearsed little passion play that's been in production for years. Let's head over to the local newspaper office.
What for?
This is Dorian Lord. At the sound of the tone, please leave your message.
I've just had 2 visitors. Your daughter, Cassie, and a Mr. Hayes. Please call. It's urgent.
Vicki and Jessica came by the church to say a prayer for the twins, and we all realized that we were kind of alone in our sadness, as you must be.
Helping keep busy.
Well, hey, if that's true, do you mind if I pitch in? Wait tables or something?
Oh, darling, that is so sweet. But it's not necessary. Well, if you change your mind, we're here for you, okay? I know you love those kids as if they were your own. It's hard. It's so hard. Max is the one who needs help. Mm-hmm.
You know, I went by his house, and he would not even open the door.
Yeah, he didn't even answer when we rang his doorbell.
Well, I think he wants to be alone, and I'm not sure. I think that's a good idea.
I think he's in a very dangerous frame of mind right now.
Well, that's all the more reason not to crowd him. Look, I know Max. So do you all.
Mm-hmm. As long as he realizes that we're there for him when he does need us.
Oh, I think he does, and I think he's very grateful. Well, I guess we all had the same impulse to come here to remember the twins.
That is perfect. You know, roadies. They loved to play roadies when the place was closed. Frank used to like to pretend that he was Max, and Leslie would be a customer and sit on a stool and order a ginger ale. I suppose there are memories for Max everywhere.
No, I'm sure. Well, I'm glad he's not here to see this. Excuse me.
Blair, please don't start any...
Get out, right now.
I'm glad that she can sleep. This has been hard on both of you.
It's been harder on my mother. But here you are in the middle of a Kramer crisis, holding everybody's hand. Lucky you.
Perhaps I'm working off some karmic debt.
Well, I think that my karmic debt is becoming a bit overwhelming.
How so?
You keep riding to my rescue.
Happily.
Well, I mean, what do you get in return? I carry on about Joey or my mother or Blair.
Well, I admit I'd had just about enough of the boyfriend. In fact, I took myself out of the picture for a while, so, give you a little room to sort things out. Profoundly stupid move on my part. Because a surprising thing happened to me while I was busy distancing myself from you.
What?
I discovered that I didn't like not being a part of your picture.
Well, I didn't even notice that you had gone anywhere.
Oh, great. So, how am I supposed to take that? I wasn't even missed.
No, I don't read it like that at all. You've just become such a natural part of my life. And if that sounds like I'm taking you for granted, I don't.
I wish you would.
Mm-hmm. No.
He's dead. He's dead, Dorian.
No.
I'm here for the same reason you're here.
I doubt that.
To give support. Offer my help.
Oh, you don't give a damn about Max or his kids, and you know it.
But at a time like this, we're all brothers.
You make me want to puke.
Max's children's blood is on your hands, and you know it, so why don't you wipe that smirk right off your face, RJ?
Blair, I need to talk.
Not now, Nora.
Yes, now, Blair, at the bar.
I didn't need rescuing.
Blair did. Chikara, we need to talk over some business when the dust settles. Okay, thanks. You're in the midst of a firestorm, and you suggest I get back into a partnership with you?
Oh, this'll all burn itself out, just like always. Or look, I didn't come here to get in anyone's face, especially yours. I said no pressure. I mean no pressure. So if you want to go hang out with the solid citizens over there, don't mind me.
I don't know her, don't even say it. Wrong place, wrong time.
Maybe wrong person. I think we have to concern ourselves just with Max.
The question is, what do we do for him?
Oh, what can we do for him? He doesn't want our sympathy.
Have a memorial service.
That's been considered. Max feels he can't handle it.
Here, here. I don't think I could either. Well, he just has to do what he wants to do.
But, Vicky, he is sinking deeper and deeper into this lonely, dark hole.
Blair's right. I don't think Max feels he has much to live for anymore.
There it is. Your grandparents' obituary. Accidental death, August 27th, 1960, Bracken, Kentucky. Private burial and family plot.
Well, that jives with what Miss Duncliffe said.
Well, of course it does. How else do you think they got the information?
Well, what are you saying? You think she lied?
How can I put this? That was one very determined lady. I got a sense of organization, of enormous will. She was like an old war horse, centering herself, collecting it all together to face the charge. She was reading me and you every minute of the way. There was something strange about this obituary.
Well, it...
How did they die?
Oh, it just says accidental death.
Mm-hmm. No mention of a plane crash, right?
No, and why?
Let's find out. We need some facts. Harry. Mel Hayes. How's the FAA these days? Yeah. No. I'm not in D.C. I'm in Canton, Ohio. Listen, Harry, I need some dope on a small plane crash that occurred in Bracken County last week of August 1960. 2 fatalities, possibly 3 if the pilot died. Can you dig that up for me? Thanks, buddy. Oh, no. Margaritas and steak fajitas at Casa Catarina's next time I'm in town. Oh, listen. Do you still have my cell phone number and your Rolodex? Good. Thanks, pal. Sometimes it helps to have friends in high places. Now, let's see what else we can see in the local press while we're waiting for Harry to tell us what I think I already know.
No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't.
You had a dream. It's all right.
She's terrible.
Dorian.
I didn't want to do it. But I had to. I had to do it. What didn't you want to do? I had such a bad dream. What was it about? It was just a dream. Thank you. Well, what didn't you want to do?
Give her a minute.
What didn't you want to do? I challenged Melinda to a race. I had to. I mean, I thought that I had to. The race that ruined her hand. Why did you think you had to do that? Please, honey, it really upsets me to talk about this now. Well, look, I understand it was traumatic for Mother, but I don't know why it was such a big deal for you.
What, do you think that I have absolutely no feelings?
No, I don't know what to think.
Well,
You never explained to me how you felt about it.
She's telling us now she felt guilty.
I know, and I just want to know why.
Because I was a very good writer. And Melinda would
She certainly wouldn't have cared if she never got on a horse, but she didn't want to be left out, and actually, she hated that there was one thing that I was better at than she was.
Well, it sounds like your basic sibling rivalry.
Yes, except we carried it to extremes. But I never wanted her to get hurt.
How did it happen?
I dared Melinda to a race across the field and back. A very simple course, but she didn't want to. So I whispered into her ear that everybody would be watching, and I'd let her win. And that Mama and Papa would be pleased. Melinda liked that because she loved to please Mama and Papa. So she agreed. Of course, I intended to ride right beside her, just in case anything went wrong.
Like what?
Like I said, Melinda was not a very confident rider. Then Papa came out of the house and he said, no, we shouldn't race, because he knew how afraid Melinda was of riding fast. But Mama said that it would be very good for Melinda to get over her fear. So Mama took me down to the barn and we got the horses ready. Miss Stonecliffe gave the signal by waving a white handkerchief. And we started across the field in a fast canter. I stayed right next to Melinda. I knew that something might happen.
It may seem that way now, but at the time, you couldn't possibly have known. Did the horse stumble?
I'm not sure. All I know is that suddenly Melinda's body was up in the air, and it seemed like it was in slow motion. But then everything that happened seems to be in slow motion.
As you replay it in your mind endlessly, even now.
It's a blur. And everything that happened for a long time afterward is also a blur.
I'll call you as soon as I'm back in D.C. Thanks. Curiouser and curiouser.
Something weird about the plane accident?
There's no record of it. Or anything remotely like it, on or near that date. Cassie, it didn't happen.
This is so strange.
Oh, I had a hunch.
Okay, so we called the county clerk in Bracken, Kentucky. We tried to get verification of my grandparents' death certificates. That's...
Try and track down the undertaker that was mentioned in their obituary.
If he's still in business. If he's still alive.
Yeah. We're bound to have some luck sooner or later. The hairs in the back of my neck never fail me. They're telling me we're closing in on the truth, whatever it is.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Well, hello to you, too. Man has to eat lunch. I went to the palace. You weren't there.
And you can't order your steak on your own?
I don't trust my good health to that chef when you're not there to supervise.
How long did it take you to make up that excuse?
I was just, wondering how you're doing.
If you're going sentimental on me now, it's a really good time.
Yeah. I knew about the situation. I wouldn't have taken Holden to the cleaners when I bought that waterfront property from him.
It's all right, darling. I didn't know either.
I tell you, he's just too damn stubborn to ask for help.
I know. You lose your future when you lose your kids. And Max has lost his past, too. Everything that he built with Luna, beautiful children.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Oh. His eye is on the sparrow.
No.
I used to sing that hymn as a boy in a little old Baptist church in West Texas.
Oh, we used to sing that hymn in a big old Baptist church in
Some things are universal, eh?
That's right. Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Why should my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home when Jesus is my portion? A constant friend is he. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me.
Thank you, Jakar.
Mr. Hart, your father took care of the arrangements for my grandparents' death in 1960?
Yes. He considered it an honor. Louis Kramer was greatly admired as a doctor and as a man. Are you related to the family, Mr. Hayes?
Oh, no, I'm here strictly for moral support. Cassie's here to straighten up some disputed claims arising out of the Kramer family estate.
How can I help?
There seems to have been some misplaced papers, and I was hoping that you would have copies of my grandparents' death certificates in your records.
The law says we only have to keep records for 10 years. But my dad never threw out a paper in his life, God rest his soul, and I guess I took after him. You should see our basement. It's floor to ceiling. It'll take a little while.
Oh, that's all right.
That's fine. If it'll help, it was August 27th, 1960. That's what we're looking for.
Right.
All right. Now we just have to hope those death certificates haven't experienced mysterious disappearance. Just have a suspicious mind.
I didn't realize you would all be here. I just came by to get something from the office.
Well, it wasn't planned, you know. It just sort of happened. We couldn't be with you. We thought this was the next best place.
Yeah, but just worried about you, Max. That's all.
I guess I should have realized.
Oh, darling. Look, don't take that on yourself.
All we want to do is help. We just don't know how.
Andrew said you don't want to have a memorial service?
No, please.
We certainly understand.
Look, if you want to remember Frank and Leslie, make a contribution in their name to Maggie's school down in New Orleans. I'm sure Ian has the address and everything like that.
That's a good idea.
You can count me in.
Yeah, listen, I'll put a notice in the church bulletin if that's all right with you, Max.
I'll put it in the banner. Max, what can we do for you?
Nothing. I'm leaving for a few days. Jakara.
Look, don't give it a thought.
Well, Max, do you want some company?
No, I have to go explain to Al what happened, and then I'm going to go see Linda's family. And then after that, well, it doesn't matter.
Andrew, I don't think he can stand being comforted just now. Maybe later.
This is Dorian Lord. At the sound of the tone, please leave your message. I've just had 2 visitors. Your daughter, Cassie, and a Mr. Hayes. Message deleted. You have no new voice messages.
Kelly, who are you calling? I was just checking our messages at home. Oh. Was there anything for me? Nothing. No, actually, nothing important at all. I should give Cassie a call, let her know we're coming home. Good idea.
Hello? Cassie, Kelly, where are you?
you?
Actually, we are on our way home.
How's your mother?
Better. She is glad to be back at the clinic, I'm sure.
How's my mother?
I'm not so sure.
Give her my love.
Your mother sends her love.
That's nice. Were you able to check Mother's answering machine messages?
Yes.
Was there a message from Miss Stonecliffe?
Yes, there was.
Were you able to erase it?
Mm-hmm.
What have we gotten ourselves into?
I don't know. See you soon.
What don't you know? When we will be arriving, exactly.
Well, I'll go and check with the pilot, shall I?
Good. Kelly, sweetheart. I just wish we could put all of this behind us and things could be the way they used to be.
Miss Stonecliffe called. She left a message for Mother.
Yeah?
Kelly erased it.
Oh, good.
Sorry it took so long. Here are all the records we have for Louis and Sonia Kramer.
Wonderful, thank you.
Now, I have a client to attend to for a funeral tomorrow, but you're welcome to use my office to look that over.
Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Hart.
I hope you find what you need. Don't go away without saying goodbye, okay?
Oh, absolutely,
Of course.
sir.
Here it is.
Oh,
Here it
wait,
is.
this may be the county
Certificate
clerk.
of death for Louis
Bracken.
Michael Kramer.
Mel Hayes.
Place of death, Bracken, Kentucky. Cause of death, trauma due to internal injuries. Date of death, August 27th, 1960.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for checking that out for me, sir. I'm obliged to
Here's
you.
one for Sonia Ruskova Kramer.
Goodbye.
This bears out exactly what Miss Stonecliffe said.
Except there are no death certificates on file in Bracken County for Sonia or Lou Kramer on August 27th or any other date that year.
But I've got them right here. That has to be a clerical error.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean, let's review the bidding. On the one hand, we've got a vague obituary in the local paper. An undertaker who says his father, now deceased, arranged the burial and 2 death certificates. On the other hand, the FAA knows nothing of the plane crash in question, and the county clerk in Bracken knows nothing of the people who supposedly died in it. It doesn't add up.
What do we do now?
I think you'd better get back to Landview and help keep Dorian on an even keel. And I'll go to Bracken and look into these death certificates.
I feel like I'm on this speeding train going 100 miles an hour down this hill without any brakes.
And the bridge over the gorge ahead just gave way.